All right, welcome back for season 2 of the Traveling Hoopers. I don't know about you guys, but I'm happy to be back. Phillip, you happy to be back?
I stay happy to be back.
That's weird. Calvin, you happy to be back?
Yeah.
All right, yeah, I know we took a long hiatus during the off season. I know there was stuff to talk about, but I don't really talk about off season. I'm here for basketball, nothing but basketball. I don't even care about draft picks that much. I'm lying. Zion, Zion group all day. But let's go ahead and get into our topic today. We're going to have our top 3 wildest predictions for this upcoming NBA season. Since I'm your host, I will go first. And my first prediction is this year will be LeBron's lowest scoring average since his rookie year.
Which is what?
I believe it's like 22 points.
Okay. I can definitely see that being the case.
Yeah, let me pull up the exact numbers for you guys. But I think with the added bonus of having AD, who I really think is going to do most of the heavy lifting, now that at this point I hope to see old man LeBron, and I don't mean it like in a bad way or like a going out of style way. It's literally just I want to see him like gracefully fade away and just play point guard. Like I don't need you to like you don't need to do what you did last year and score 27 points. And LeBron's lowest scoring average happened in his rookie year at 20.9 points per game.
Yeah.
And then his lowest since is 25.3. And I could really see him chilling out at a cool 24. Let Anthony Davis do that work. And now that he actually has a little bit of a supporting cast, let them run the show too. All right.
I don't think LeBron has it in him to not be an alpha on that team. So I think everything he's saying before the season starts, I'm gonna let AD, run the team. I'm gonna be like a little side piece, you know what I mean? I'm gonna be his D Wade to his LeBron, you know what I mean? I don't think that's gonna actually be the case. Uh, uh, which will go into my prediction later on.
Okay. See, but my theory on this is just how Dwayne Wade saw, like, one, there's nothing I can do with LeBron at this point in my career. Two, it's not going to work with both of us being the number one. I think LeBron is going to have something similar to that. And just being like, AD is amazing. I really got to just let this kid cook and see what happens from here. Because I think he'll have enough faith in him to let him cook, even if that does mean how they did in Miami, where it took that first year was quote unquote a failure because they did not win the championship. But and then the off season, he was kind of like, yeah, bro, I kind of see what it is. You clearly have to take this over.
Yeah, I got you.
All right, and my second prediction is both Karl Anthony Towns and Devin Booker will express interest in being traded.
Actually, I don't. For some reason, I don't feel like Devin Booker is about to want to be traded. Not this season anyway. Maybe next. But like, he actually has some help. Not
He
enough.
does.
I mean,
Rick,
dang it, what's that man's name?
we talking about Ricky Rubio? Is that who we talking about?
Correct me if I'm wrong. Aiden had a pretty good season last year, didn't he?
He did, but I don't care. I I will hope at this point he wants to, I don't know, sniff the playoffs. And I don't know if a better version of Ayton is going to be enough to sniff the playoffs when there's still a bunch of other birds on their roster.
Mm-hmm.
I can also see those two things being the case. Um, I don't think Karl Anthony Towns is going to request a trade, or I think he's less likely to request a trade um, than Devin Booker. because I think Karl Anthony Towns legitimately likes being in a small market and having so little pressure on him. And I think that like that goes well into, his playing style. And I think he legitimately, and he just signed that max contract, how long ago? Like 2 seasons ago? Last season, something like that?
Mhm.
So I think it's a little too fresh for him to request a trade. But Devin Booker, I can see him requesting a trade like tomorrow. Even though he got the contract, I can still see him requesting a trade tomorrow because he's going to end up, doing nothing. Wasted talent. You know what I mean? One of those wasted talents on a bad team. He don't want to do that. But, he over here upset about getting double teamed in open games. So, I don't know where his mindset is.
And that's kind of the reason why I think he is going to request a trade. Not only because he wants to have like a successful career, but like, aren't you tired of doing all of the dirty work? You got to score all these points every game, which everybody would love to do, but you have to do it in like a harder situation than a lot of other people because there's no one else to guard.
Yeah.
Like even this season, there's really like no other person on the wing that you have to be like, oh, we got to put a body on. Their team right now is Ricky Rubio, Kelly Oubre, DeAndre Ayton, Jalen McHugh. That's what I'm gonna go with. Dario Saric, Aaron Baines, Tyler Johnson, Mikal Bridges, Javon Carter, Frank Kaminsky, Elie Okobo, Check Diallo, Tariq Owens, Grant Odious. I almost called that man nonsense. David Kramer, Ty Jerome, Jared Harper, Cameron Johnson.
You start saying names, I started going to sleep. I was like, man. No,
Because
I don't know. Devin Booker, he's got a weird mindset. So, like, honestly, I don't watch the Suns enough, first of all, because
Nobody watches the Suns.
and they're awful. So, like,
that's not true. Greta watches the Suns.
Who?
There's an old lady who was upset that the Suns owner was trying to get his new stadium funded publicly. Y'all gotta watch ESPN, bro. It was a story for like 2 days.
I don't watch ESPN.
I mean, they're not really good enough to have their new stadium public funded, but I still don't know who that is.
I also don't know who that is. She's clearly not important enough for 2 of the 3
I mean, like,
to make.
nah, she's not important, bro. It was just funny.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry we didn't laugh.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't need y'all to laugh. Somebody will get it, hopefully.
Okay.
Let us know in the comment section. If you don't, I'll cry. Anyway, my last prediction, and this is probably going to be the most obvious of the 3. Boston finishes as a top 3 team in the East and looks like the team that we saw in 2017 that was it, they made it to the Eastern Conference Finals, or was it the second round, something like that? Eastern Conference Finals.
And
Kemba Walker will still be an All-NBA player.
Yeah. Makes sense to me.
It does make sense to me as well. Yeah, I really don't have much to say about that. That's a pretty safe prediction.
I thought I was doing something, bro. I thought I would have more detractors.
Honestly, no, because Kyrie was the reason they didn't do well last year. You know what I mean? And I can see Kemba fit into that system way better than Kyrie, for sure. Just like personnel standing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I completely agree with you if it's true that Brad Stevens doesn't really know how to coach the upper echelon players.
Yeah.
I do think Kemba is a top 10 point guard in the league, but I do not think he is fully there enough to smell himself enough as a top 10 player in the NBA. Kyrie feels himself. Like, nigga, I know I'm one of the best basketball players on earth.
Which for career wise is going to be a downfall.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
For sure. That's me personally. I think that he feels himself too much. He knows what he brings to the table too much, and his ego is way too big, and that's why he wasn't a good fit on the Boston Celtics, because Brad Stevens can't handle an ego that big and know how to maneuver with it. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So is that your three?
Yeah, that's my three. I'm
All right.
out.
You mind if I go next?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So my first one is the Detroit Pistons will make the second round of the playoffs.
Elaborate.
Hold up. Wait. See, now I go and check and see who they have before I'm just like, yeah, I feel like that's
I think the East is, clearly depends on standings, right? But
Yeah.
I think the only person in the East that's like guaranteed to win is the Philadelphia 76ers. I think outside of that, with Milwaukee losing Bragdon, big. That's very, very underrated and very, very big for the success of that team. That he's not there no more, so they won't be as successful this year. You know what I'm saying? Boston, I think they're just gonna be, run of the mill, I guess. Like they're gonna probably make the Eastern Conference Finals, but they're not gonna be like, oh my gosh, they can beat the 76ers, I think, personally, right? And then past that, it's kind of just a bunch of toss-ups, right? You got the Indianas, you got, you got the Indianas, and I think you got the Pistons to go along with that second tier group behind the big two right now being the Philadelphia 76ers and the Boston Celtics. I now also think that mid-tier group also includes the Miami Heat because Jimmy Butler cannot lead a team. Period. Point blank. He can't lead a team to a winning season or successful winning season to where they go on to do bigger things in the postseason. And they have one of the best big man dynamics duo in the NBA with Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond. They now got Derrick Rose coming off the bench, who last year was very, very good. And the problem with the Detroit Pistons was when Blake Griffin was out of the game, they had zero scoring, and Reggie Jackson was looking like a backup point guard that he needs to be, right?
He is a backup point guard.
He is, exactly.
I don't know why he left.
He's
on the bench in OKC.
At heart, he is a backup point guard, point blank, period. But when he starts choking and smoking layups and doing what Reggie Jackson usually does, they're going to have somebody to go out there that they know can at least go out there and give him a bucket, if anything else, right? And I think that's going to be a big uplift for this team this year, because that was such a big knock against them last year.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely see where you're coming from on that. So who is like a positive matchup for them in the playoffs? Like outside of like the Miami Heat, who I think they could beat them, because I don't know if they have enough big depth to really stop Blake Griffin, and Andre Drummond is just going to get a ton of rebounds no matter who's guarding them.
Yeah, a beast. So just name off people in the East who were in the playoffs last year, right? So Miami Heat, Indiana Pacers, who else is going to be in the playoffs? Besides Boston and Philadelphia, clearly. Milwaukee.
Indiana.
Say again?
Indiana,
Atlanta.
Brooklyn Nets.
You think Atlanta's going to sneak in there?
I think Atlanta's going to sneak in there to 8 seed, yeah. 7 or 8 seed, yeah.
Okay.
I do. And that's not a take. That's just like, I feel like that's like so, that's not me being overly optimistic. That's just me assuming that they're going to make the playoffs because of the people they have around them, right? And maybe the Orlando Magic's in the West, right?
No.
Orlando Magic's East.
Yeah, so maybe the Orlando Magic also. depending on, how things run when it comes to Markel Fultz. Oh, God. But they made the playoffs last year, which is, incredible too, right? So it really just depends. But, compared to any of those other teams, you can't say that the Detroit Pistons will lose automatically.
Yeah, I think you have a point there, but I think it's a toss up. I really don't like Detroit as a solidified basketball team. There's not enough names. There's not enough people that I really trust with the ball in their hands. They have Derrick Rose, who, sorry Phillip, I am not a passionate Derrick Rose fan, but he's a little shaky. Blake Griffin, easily. Andre Drummond, no. Joe Johnson.
Joe Johnson's trying to figure out if he's gonna make the 15-man roster.
True. I thought they gave him guaranteed.
Nope, he's fighting for that 15 spot.
That Luke Kennard, I'm interested in seeing what he's gonna do. But then you got guys like you said, Reggie Jackson, rookie Sekou Doumbouya, Markieff Morris, who I think can give you solid 12 to 16 a night. Tony Snell, Jordan Bone, Bruce Brown Jr., who I have no faith in.
I always like Tony Snell.
Yeah. Tony Snell's solid.
For a role player, he does what he needs to do.
Yeah. Svi, he's from Kansas product, so I'm semi-excited, but nothing special.
I beat him in pool 2 weeks ago.
How do you pronounce that name?
Svi. I will not do the full thing. He said it's okay to just call him by the first 3 letters. SVI. Svi Mikhailuk. That's what he's getting. Kyrie Thomas. No. Tim Frazier. No. I think it was Tim Frazier talk for a little bit, but I'm not here for it. Thon Maker. When we figure out he is 45 years old and still in the NBA, I'm going to be impressed. Langston Galloway. Maybe 5 years ago. Christian Wood, I'm surprised he's still.
All right, we're at the back end to where these people won't even see clock. Come on now.
Exactly. We had to go that far, and we had 2 names where I'm I'm okay. In the fourth quarter, I'm not mad that these guys are on the floor.
Look, if you have Blake Griffin, Andre Drummond, Markieff Morris, and Derrick Rose right now on the court, you're okay with that.
Yeah, okay? I can say that. I can say that positive.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know about you, but I'm definitely gonna be okay with that. All right, but for my second prediction, this is gonna be messed up, but LeBron James is gonna get hurt. LeBron James is gonna get hurt.
When you say hurt,
yeah.
Okay, let me expand. LeBron James is going to get hurt to the fact it's going to be a huge detriment to the team because LeBron James will not be able to change his game and is going to be playing too hard on offense to where it's going to deteriorate his body throughout the season. And it's going to be a detriment to the team because this is a year that can't happen because this is a year where no one has any idea who is going to win the NBA Finals. For the last 6 years, we've had the unfortunate privilege of pretty much knowing before the season starts who's going to win, right? But this year is the first time in a long time to where we legitimately have no idea. Everything is evened out, especially on the West. So he cannot afford to get injured. And he can't afford to take any nights off. So he's going to convert back into playing how LeBron James usually plays. And he's going to do too much. And Mother Time is going to catch up with him. And then, boom, he's going to get hurt. And it's going to be at a detriment of his team.
So we talking about like groin
Ling-
issues 2.0?
Groin, hammy, lingering issue. Last year was the first time we saw LeBron James go through something like that. And I think that this year is a high probability of it happening again.
No. Let's go ahead and say this. We hope it does not happen. Phillip already said that, but again, we hope it does not happen. But you know, age comes for everybody.
Age ain't nothing but a number.
Until you pull a hammy.
Like, okay. Okay. So that one's pretty self-explanatory. You really can't, debate that one. But my third one is the New Orleans Pelicans. Well, this is like a part one, part two kind of deal. The New Orleans Pelicans will make the playoffs this year, and Lonzo Ball will have a breakout season this year. Breakout meaning that he's going to have career highs all over the board.
I mean, a career high for Lonzo is only like amazing in one category.
All right, do I need to go higher? I think people are going to be considering him are going to be wondering if he's an all-star.
Okay, year 3, I see it.
I do. This whole team is built for his skill set. For him to run the show and for him to do what we got used to him doing, for the back end of high school and going into college, right? He has no one. He's going to be allowed to be ball dominant. He's going to be allowed to pass the ball and do what he needs to do offensively. And he has a whole team that's going to run with him, right? This team is catered to him and his skill set, and I don't think it's a surprise that when he first gets on a team that isn't catered to him and his specific skills on the basketball court, that it's the first losing seasons he's had in his entire life. So now we're going to get to see what, we imagined we would see immediately from Lonzo Ball, and that's going to equal up to a significant season for the Pelicans and a numbers boost for Zion, because he has a point guard like Lonzo passing him the ball and doing what he needs to do to get him involved.
How can we have a numbers boost for Zion if he hasn't played a game yet?
Well, numbers boost, like his numbers are going to be influxed. Is that what I'm looking for?
Better than they should be.
Yeah, much better than they should be, right? Just like Kyle Kuzma's numbers are going to be much lower, right? Not only because AD is there, but because he doesn't have a point guard just sitting there passing the ball in the spots he wants him to pass them the ball to, right? He's gonna end up having to get more garbage minutes. When Kuzma played with Lonzo and you watch the games, Lonzo was just feeding him the ball right where he needed to be and right where he wanted the ball to be. And now that privilege is gone. LeBron's either gonna pass. LeBron's not gonna, he's not going to cater to where Kyle Kuzma wants the ball. It's going to be more centered around AD and things of that nature, right? So you're going to see Kyle Kuzma's numbers drop significantly, and you're going to see Lonzo's numbers go up, but you're also going to see Zion's numbers be a lot higher than what they're projecting them to be at the moment.
Yeah. So you're pretty much saying like the on-off numbers with Zion and Lonzo are going to be like completely different. Like when Lonzo's on the floor, Zion's going to look amazing. When he's off the floor, you're going to be like, oh, this was the number 1 pick?
I don't think it's going to be that much of a drop-off, because when you have somebody feeding you the ball like that, right, and doing that for you, you get a confidence boost. And confidence is a huge thing in basketball, as we all know.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't think the drop-off from when Lonzo's on the court to when he's not on the court is going to be that incredible. But I think, they're over here saying Zion won't be Rookie of the Year. I think Zion is going to be Rookie of the Year. because he has somebody like that giving him the ball.
I honestly, if the only person I could really see challenging him, well, it's two people. It's between R.J. Barrett, just because he's going to be allotted to do what he kind of wants at times, so his numbers are going to look good. And if Michael Porter Jr. can stay healthy, that's my dark horse pick. Because you just can't do nothing with 6'10".
I have been hearing Michael Porter Jr. Denver just has, I don't know, because Michael Porter Jr. could definitely do it, which is wild because that's gonna be wild. But I don't know. They might have too many weapons already for him to have numbers like that.
Yeah. We gonna see, man. I really think with that situation is going to be a cream rises to the top type deal, especially if he can adjust to the game, because he has the size of Jeremy Grant with Will Barton's athleticism, and I think they had like another wing who like Torrey Craig's ability to shoot all in one person. So if everything works out, it's gonna be hard to deny him minutes. But
very factual, very factual.
Yeah, but I think that's your three, right?
Yep.
It is time for you, Calvin.
All right. I feel like my stuff isn't quite as thought through as y'all's, but okay. I guess my first one is what I think Ja Morant gets Rookie of the Year.
I know that's a super Memphis bias, but I'm gonna let you slide.
Some of it is biased, yeah, but like in general, and maybe I'm overthinking this. When it comes to Rookie of the Year, like a player like Zion, who is great, they don't really tend to be the dudes that get it. Like, in terms of like players that come in largely dependent upon like their athleticism and whatever. Like they have that athleticism, don't necessarily have a ton of skill, don't tend to get it. Michael Porter Williams,
Who?
Michael Porter Jr., whatever, crap. Michael Porter Jr. is not gonna get it like y'all said because the team around him is too good. Now he'll probably get all like he'll be on the like all rookie team, but he's not gonna get it. Barrett might, just like y'all said, he'll be able to do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
But I like okay. What are the arguments for other people, basically, other than Williams being Williams or what have you?
There's not, bro. To be honest with you, I can't think of any. I definitely can't think of any good ones.
I also can't say the truth.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, can't tell you who was even drafted in the lottery. Not all of them. Like we got Zion, we got Ja, RJ. Don't remember who went 4. And then I think Kobe White went number 5.
Hey, I'll tell you, why Kobe White mouth so big?
That is a great question for a geneticist.
No, because when they were over here, remember when other dude from his college from North Carolina got
when he started smiling real hard,
he was like, someone got drafted. Bro, are you serious? I'm like, dude, close your mouth, bro. I'm like, you can put like 7 eggs in that mouth. Like you, like do all face just like a young LaMelo.
That was incredibly. I don't even know what I was about to say, but that's graphic, bro. 7 eggs? Where do you come up with this?
Have you never seen the movie Kool-Hand Luke?
No. Not enough to remember 7 eggs.
Well, they had a whole boiled egg eating contest in that, and it was a reference, a really obscure reference that like no one would have got besides me.
Yeah.
Good job.
Man, I write for a living, man. I just creative words is what I do and creative phrases.
Okay.
I hate
Alright. My second one, which I'm not sure I believe at this point, but I'm gonna go ahead and stick with it because it was the first thing I wanted to say, and then I looked at their roster that the Suns were gonna be a good team this year.
y'all. Yikes!
Good meaning they make the playoffs.
Yikes!
Hey, I'm not gonna. Calvin, I'm sorry. You get the first one of these all year. I want to implement something new. It's not new because we said this all the time with Phillip last year. But
Wait,
you just got to mute your mic segment of the week. So I am going to need you to say what you just said again. And then me and Phillip are going to tell you why what you just said is wrong.
got you. Yes.
Okay, the Phoenix Suns are gonna make the playoffs.
All right. You're wrong because they suck. The roster already sucks. I told you Devin Booker is leaving. Hopefully, I don't know. I hope he does. All of the lords above me. Please let that happen this year. But yes, come on, bro. I told you the roster already. Like when your second best player, I'll say it again. When your second best player or most proven player is a dude that we kind of consider a bust in Ricky Rubio.
Yeah,
What did you expect?
like people really thinking
Okay,
like
I'm done.
people really like acting like Ricky Rubio about to be some kind of savior. They're booty. They're boo boo. They're feces. They're garbage. They're garbage. They're the worst. Oh my gosh. They're gonna have the NBA worst record. Like
Again, for like
Okay,
the
nah.
fifth year in a row?
they're awful. Like, and their management is awful. Like NBA first class awful. And is that Indian dude still their head coach?
No, they let him. I think they let him go.
They can't get the head coach. Well, you can't build a team when you keep cutting the head off the snake. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Awful. They have no kind of direction. Like, and they haven't had direction in years. They were like the young, up and coming, but nah. Like, I don't know. And then Booker, like, he good and all, but like, you don't even know where his mindset is, low key. So like, I don't know. They're just they're awful now, and I can't predict them ever being better until they show me they're better, because I'm just gonna always predict they're gonna be trash.
All right. And their head coach is Monty Williams, and they have had a new coach every year since 2016. After Jeff Hornacek got fired, Earl Watson was in there for a little bit, and
Hey,
then Jay Triano, whoever that is, and Igor Kokoskov. Uh,
what you like?
every single one of them was only there for a year. So yeah, you can't even set something up effectively
Yeah,
in that
dog.
type of situation.
I don't know what you was thinking, Calvin.
It was a gut thing. Then I looked at the roster. Like this was before today. I started trying to think up my stuff like a week ago. But for me, it's like as soon as I saw the roster, I'm like, I don't really have faith in it, but I'm gonna go ahead and stick with it. And the thing with Rubio is they don't actually need him to do a whole lot. They just need him to get the actual two best players, which are Booker and Ayton, the ball. That's all he needs to do.
But he probably won't do that.
I mean, passing is the one thing he's good at.
Hey,
But
I'm gonna be real with you. I don't think there's any difference between either one of us playing point guard for the Phoenix Suns and Ricky Rubio. And this is not a slight to Ricky Rubio. It is a slight to the entire organization. It does not matter who is a point guard. They will suck.
oh no, like the organization is trash. Sure. Wait, are they? Quick aside. Do y'all think the Suns organization or the Knicks organization is worse?
That's hard. I'm gonna have to go with the Suns because I truly think the only issue with the Knicks is their owner, who's really like a self-absorbed airhead. If he sold the team today, I think we would see the Knicks being decent in at least 2 to 3 years.
You took the words right from my mouth. Like, literally, I was going to say verbatim the exact same thing. The Knicks have potential to be better, but they only have one issue, and which is the owner. But the Suns have a multitude of issues.
Yeah,
and it's
like
not.
you have to fire everybody.
But like, also, you could make the argument that the Knicks have been worse longer. So like, but like, even that's not true, right? Because they had that 1 year with Carmelo and Anthony.
I thought they had like a couple years with Carmelo where they were making the playoffs. They
Well,
weren't doing anything in the playoffs, but they were at least into the postseason.
I'm pretty sure it was like one. It was him and Stoudemire.
They had 1 year where he was like legitimate. Remember that 1 year when was it? I don't know if it was Christmas, but it was that one game where he was hitting those deep threes to beat the Bulls. They had Steve Novak on the team, all kind of stuff.
Big Steve. Wow.
Probably about 2011, 2010.
Yeah.
So,
say
it again?
No, I was just saying thank you for the Mute Your Mic segment, Calvin. I knew he was gonna have one. I just didn't know when, and we didn't talk about this beforehand, so I can like tell y'all about your bad ideas. So thank you.
First of all, I don't have
second guessing. What'd you say?
I don't got bad ideas.
Yeah, but you say bad things, so they might as well be bad ideas.
I say honest things. It's a difference.
Your delivery's trash, Phillip.
What do you mean?
We'll save that for off air. But like certain things you'll say is completely true, but your build up to it and how you say it, that is the part where it's like you're so right, but it sounds so wrong.
I don't even understand what that means, but it is what it is.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later.
Oh, okay, I appreciate that.
All right, Calvin's back on you for your last one, and if we have 2 Mute Your Mic segments this week, I'm okay with that.
Wow. Okay. In fairness, this last one I keep flip flopping on. I kind of have the other two for a minute. I'm gonna go with this one. I feel like I'm about to get my mic muted for a second time. But let's just go with the Nuggets get the number 1 seed in the West.
I don't hate it.
I do. What?
I don't hate it. It's the only team that has multiple years of continuity. Their chemistry is pretty much the same. Their only additions that I can think of offhand are a healthy Michael Porter Jr., who might not see that much on the floor. And then you have Jeremy Grant, who's basically just a upgraded version of Torrey Craig, in my opinion, because he can play 3 or 4 and is great defensively. And even if he has to back up Paul Millsap, you literally, when Paul Millsap is off the floor and you put Jeremy Grant in there, the only thing you're giving up is strength. And that means a lot in the NBA, but like, you're going to be more mobile, you're going to be faster, you're going to be younger, you're going to be wildly more athletic with him on the floor. I think he fits on every single team in the NBA just because of like how versatile he is. So I could definitely see them being the number 1 seed just because they're not going to have to work anybody in and they're not going to have to deal with any egos.
I mean, that's cool and all, but then you remember the Clippers exist. So like, I think the Clippers are gonna get the number 1 seed. Because I think they have too many guys on that team that don't like days off. You know what I mean? Like, let's say Kawhi wants to take a day off, or like Paul George when he gets healthy wants to take a day off. I don't think that like everybody else on the team is like, nah, we good. You got dudes like Patrick Beverly who are like, nah, I don't want that day off. You know what I mean? But they got a couple of those dudes. I think they're gonna be number 1 seed if I had to choose one this year.
Yeah. The only reason why I'm hesitant on the Paul George thing is I don't think he's coming back until like November, like mid-November,
Yeah,
which is like, what'd you say?
that's what they're saying right now.
Exactly, which is like 10 to 15 games. And then he has to work back on his conditioning and then getting used to being at times the third fiddle. Because Lou Williams is going to impose his work eventually. And I know that's still going to leave him on the defensive end to do whatever he wants at a high level. I think that learning curve is going to be enough where they struggle a little bit.
I don't think.
Where
Hold on.
I don't think the Nuggets are going to have that same experience.
I don't think they'll struggle when they have the best player in the world on their team. The number one player in the NBA is Kawhi Leonard. The number one player. And I don't think that they'll struggle as much without Paul George with that one addition.
I don't know, man. I think we're going to see. We're definitely going to see.
Yes, yes.
And we also don't know how healthy Kawhi Leonard actually is.
While we're here doing Kobe Bryant camps, he healthy.
You know that man ain't shooting no balls. He's not even talking to the kids.
No, Kobe Bryant's camp was for NBA players. That's it.
Oh, okay.
Like they worked out.
Oh.
Yeah, that's it though. But yeah, Kawhi was over there getting buckets, giving work to these dudes. So I think that adding that one aspect onto the same, pretty much the same team they had last year, being the Clippers, is like fantastic and good enough to like survive a good 15 games with a really good record, with a good record at least. And then adding Paul George in that later on, not 10 times better, but it's just gonna continue on when it comes to just the progression of that team.
Okay. We can see. We're going to see. You guys got anything else you want to add? Because I'm clocked out.
No, gotta go watch this Chiefs game. You know what I mean?
Go Chiefs. I don't know if there's like a thing y'all do anything? I only went to one game and I fell asleep.
What'd you say?
I said, do y'all do anything like interesting at the games? Like, is like you got Rock Chalk Jayhawk, or you just say go Chiefs?
Man, I'm black. I don't go to those games. I watch on TV in my heat.
Smart man.
I'm watching HD over here. What I look like when I can watch an HD going over there, standing in the snow, watching some game in 20-degree weather. Man, you tripping? I'm on my Rotel.
This is why I play indoor sports, people. I ain't never got to worry about them. You can just turn on the heat in the gym. Anyway, Phillip, you don't have anything. Calvin, you got anything?
Not really, but I will say, like the other thing I was flip-flopping with was that LeBron, there are going to be stretches where LeBron has to carry the Lakers for extended points in time in the season. I feel it just because AD doesn't tend to stay healthy. Like, I like him, but like, when was the last time he played, I don't know, 70 games?
Is that like an actual question?
It's just, it's mostly rhetorical. It's just to illustrate, like, I think LeBron is going to have to carry the team for an extended period of time during the season at some point.
Well, guess what, Calvin?
What?
I don't like rhetorical questions, so I have to go look up this information. And the last time he played more than 70 games was in 2017. And then he also did that in 2016.
For the last couple of years, he has not been injury prone whatsoever.
Okay.
But also,
I mean, if you count last year, he was hurt at the end. At least that's what he told people.
shut up, man. Hurt the end. This man just didn't want to play.
Which is so
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, real quick though. Shout out to Snoop Dogg though.
Boy,
Oh yeah, I heard about that stuff.
brought the exotic dancers.
No. Acrobatic gymnastics.
On poles.
I said what I said.
That's what can you call them? Acrobatic gymnastics.
As a person who was assaulted by a stripper, I know an exotic dancer when I see
I was there. He really was.
one. Sad times.
I'll ask this question later.
That
Oh,
time,
yeah.
well, that was so fun.
It was.
You over here trying to double down. Sad times. Man, shut up.
All right. All right, so let's get up out of here. Phillip, plug your stuff.
All right. Listen up, people. PG Anecdotes, weekly, listen, podcast, Spotify, and or iTunes. Get it so we can get it. Let's go.
All right, Calvin.
You can find me on Twitter at CMcGowan II, at CMcGowan II.
All right. And if you guys were wondering, no, Calvin has not tweeted since the last episode of
Are
the
you really
Travel.
not?
This is true. This is true.
Oh,
I said it's there. I didn't say I've used it much.
All right, guys.
that's ridiculous.
So I got a new job writing for Prep Hoops. So you can check out all of my work behind a paywall. Sorry, sucks. I didn't
How
do
much
it.
they pay?
What'd you say?
How much they pay?
We'll talk about it afterwards. But yeah, you can go ahead and check out my content there. I cover high school sports in the area. We actually got a ton of video content coming out later this week. I went to so many camps. I went to a Pangos camp today, just got back a couple hours ago. That was amazing. Freshman, sophomore, All-American camp. And let me just say this. Keontae George will be one of the most amazing guards to come out of Texas in this decade.
That's a hood-ass name.
What'd you say?
That's a hood-ass name.
Keontae.
Deontay? Jesus.
Keontae. That's
Live.
Look, you got a hood-ass name and go straight to a slave master's name, George.
okay. Shut up, Phillip. This is what I was talking about with the delivery, my guy.
Talking about my fault.
Yeah. So you can find all that content at Traveling Hooper on Instagram, and do yourself a favor and follow us on Twitter as well. There's going to be tons of content with these amazing prospects going out all week long. Follow me at AP_writes with 2 S's, because someone with the initials AP also writes and they wanted to be selfish. So follow me there, and I am getting credentials for more Mavericks game and more Mavericks coverage, because I am also a season ticket holder. So you guys will be getting that information as well, and we'll also probably divvy up some more NBA teams for each of us to follow during the season, so we can be as well versed in the sphere as possible. And thank you guys so much for listening to the podcast. We're out today. You guys have a great day. Goodbye.
Bye.
Later.